If you or a family member have been hurt because of the careless actions of another person, call Walker Texas Lawyer. They'll work to get you the financial compensation and justice you deserve. They have 40 years of experience, and you don't pay unless you win. Call 713-881-9653 today for a consultation or go to walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lucky to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
David, so great to talk to you. I'm a big fan of all your work, and congratulations on making such a fun movie that I so much enjoyed watching last night. Congratulations, first off.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, when I was watching the movie last night, this word kept popping in my mind, kinetic. There's never a period where I feel like I can take a breath, but in the best of ways. Even when the actors are standing still and talking to each other, the camera's still engaging me in different ways. Was that a very purposeful action from your part to make it feel nonstop?
Absolutely. It's also easier said than done. You know, I really had the intention to go in and make like an old school, fun, instant classic action movie, like the stuff I grew up with that inspired me to become a filmmaker, like Lethal Weapon or Die Hard. And it's a new kind of way of working for me because a lot of my movies are more like darker, dramatic, you know. And with this, I had so much fun making it, and the result is I couldn't be happier with it. And I think, you know, for audiences, I think they want to go back to movies and have that escape and forget about the problems of the world and just, you know, watch a great hero do things to bad guys.
Well, that's exactly the feeling that I had when I was watching it. Gave me that nostalgic feel of the movies you just mentioned from the past. And then when you have someone like Jason Statham who comes in with this credibility as an action star, it must help you tell that story the way that you wanted to. I was talking to a friend of mine. He said, Jason Statham is like salt. He makes everything better. Would you agree with that sentiment?
That's a great way of putting it. I mean, he's an action icon. He's a living legend, and generationally, absolutely one of the best action stars out there. So to work with him, you know, I walked into this bringing my action A game, and then he taught me there's like an action A+ game. I mean, he schooled me.
In what ways?
He does all his stunts himself. So a lot of times when you do action, you're cutting around doubles and sort of using a lot of camera tricks to hide that. And so when you have a star who's right there on camera and he can do everything, and you can go up and grab his face with a camera, like there's something really special about that. But he also has an encyclopedic knowledge of action. Like he can, you do some choreography and he's like, oh, I saw that in this movie. I saw something like that in this movie. So he understands action and the action lore of cinema in a way I've never encountered before.
Now, a lot of the movies that you've directed, you've also written. You know, there's been a couple that you haven't before. Does that change your approach when it's a script that you had not written and taking it to directing?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you write it, it comes from this very deep internal place. And then when you get a script that was so interesting, like Beekeeper, because it had this amazing mythology of the beekeepers and bees and lores and this protector of society, but then it also had an incredible plot structure that just kept flipping and expanding and got ahead of me. So when I read it, I wanted to give the audience the same feeling I had when I first read that script. So it really, as a director, I'm going to shoot the best scripts I can find wherever they come from.
Now, when you talk about a great action star, Jason Statham, you also, I thought Josh Hutcherson did such a great job playing this bad guy with a different slant on it. Did you feel like he helped kind of bring the story out even more and it gave Jason something to really chase?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the greater the villain, the greater the hero. And I guess the more like obnoxious and unlikable the villain, the greater the sense of victory when he's defeated. And I really have to say this to everybody. That's not Josh. Josh is a great guy. He's a really good guy, and he's a strong actor. He is not Derek. And it's interesting because we wanted to create a villain that did come from a kind of human truth. So what happens when you're this, neglected kid and your parents don't even see you and you're not even raised by them, you're raised by other people, and every problem you have, they just throw money at it. And who do you have to then become to be loved? Who do you have to become to achieve something and to find your voice in the world? And unfortunately, he took a negative route. But I think, finding the drama and finding, the human heart within every role is really important. And Josh just brought that character to life.
He did a great job. The film is sensational. Thank you so much for making a great movie to share with everyone and for taking time to speak with me.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it.